Hello, beautiful beings and conscious co-creators. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and tuning in to this video. So do y'all remember when I did that one video about Lilith on my channel some years ago? And do y'all remember how I said I was going to do a video about Succubus and Incubus in that video? Well, I'm finally delivering that to you today. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please pause this video and watch my Lilith video. I will put that link in the description box down below. And once you're all caught up, then you can come back here to finish watching. Now, for the rest of you who are interested in what I have found out about the Succubus and Incubus, I have a couple of disclaimers before we start. First, this is folklore. That means it is not based on facts. That means do not get hot and bothered in my comment section over opinions and beliefs. Second, this is for mature audiences only. I will do my best to censor the content, but the overall topic is very mature in nature, and so I must say viewer discretion is advised. Lastly, if you have any triggers regarding SA or if you are sensitive in general, please do not watch any further. I love you, but this is where we must part ways. Please do the right thing and protect your mental health. That is your responsibility and not mine. So where we left off was with this suggestion that I made that Lilith gave birth to two demons called Incubus and Succubus. As I traveled further down the rabbit hole, I realized that this may not actually be the case. So before I confuse you about where they may have came from, I want to discuss what they are first. So an incubus is described as a male demon lover, and its primary aim is to lie with sleeping women to receive sexual favors and to have sexual intercourse. The word incubus is derived from the Latin root word incubo, which translates to nightmare. I also saw that incubus translates to lie on top of, which in my opinion seems pretty fitting. A succubus is described as the opposite. It's described as a female demon lover that has been said to take the form of a beautiful maiden, and some articles I read said that this maiden would also come with some deformities such as claws, wings, or scars. And a succubus will approach a man in his slumber to have intercourse with and to perform other favors sexual in nature. So to be clear, a succubus seduces men and an incubus seduces women. They have been reported to wear out their selected partners, and these interactions and exchanges are often unwanted and usually leave their victims in fear. A couple of cases I read noted that some people who believed they encountered a succubus or incubus went on to have psychotic decompensations, but we'll talk more about that later on in this video. I also read in an article that succubus and incubus are one and the same. Throughout history, it's been believed that the succubus would come at night and would sexually attack men in their sleep, retrieving their semen. They would then transform to their incubus form, and then they would transfer this sperm to women in their sleep and impregnate them in the hopes that the woman would bear a gifted child called a cambion, thereby deceptively spreading their species into humankind. These creatures can allegedly drain energy, blood, and life from humans to strengthen itself to continue its purpose. And then I went on to look up what a cambion is, and I found that a cambion is an offspring born from this type of demon that possesses supernatural abilities. I also saw that many articles were referencing a wizard named Merlin from the legend of King Arthur. There have been several psychological disorders and diagnoses that are related to patients stating they have had experiences and encounters with a succubus or incubus. There have also been attempts from the scientific community to explain this strange phenomenon. I read an article that said the scientific explanation for the incubus attack is that the person experiences a state dissociation in which part of the mental apparatus comes to conscious awareness, even as the rest of the brain is in the REM stage of sleep. The body remains paralyzed so as to prevent acting out the dream. The realization that it is not possible to move contributes significantly to the unpleasant and frightening quality of this event. In addition, a potential sexual aspect to this experience is provided by the physiology of REM sleep, which causes erection in men and lubrication in women. Awakening from a frightening experience and subconsciously recognizing an erotic bodily feeling lends itself to seeing a connection between the experience and the working of dark and evil forces. The conscious experience is a combination of dream mentation superimposed on the sensory background of the room in which the person is sleeping. Long before Hollywood perfected the green screen technique or computer graphics allowed for the easy integration of the fantastic with realistic, the brain was able to seamlessly blend together the inner world of the dream with the outer world of sense perception during these state dissociations. People have historically been diagnosed with sleep paralysis, sleep terrors, PTSD, and diagnosed with schizophrenia with auditory and visual hallucinations present. What I found most curious was the diagnosis of the Incubus syndrome, which, according to PubMed, is a variant of erotomania. The term Incubus syndrome is proposed to describe patients suffering from the delusion that they have been sexually approached at night by an unseen lover. Both case studies I found seem to show the subjects and their symptoms have been successfully managed with antipsychotics. Some articles I found state that folklore suggests Lilith is the original succubus. I personally don't feel that resonates just because of what I found regarding her origin story. It seems odd that God would create a demon to share space with Adam in the Garden of Eden. However, I also found some articles that suggest there is folklore stating Lilith slept with an archangel who impregnated her with succubi and or incubi demons that she would end up birthing and releasing into the world. Because these stories are passed down generations after generations from all different cultures from all over the world, it is difficult to find a cohesive origin story of Lilith or the incubus and succubus. The essences of these entities are found in countries like Hungary, Turkey, Germany, India, and China, just to name a few. They are also found in many different cultures throughout Africa and have dated all the way back to ancient Mesopotamia. I found articles expressed through Christian perspectives all the way to the atheist perspective, from religious to scientific. To top it off, I have also had someone I know personally who believes they have encountered an incubus spirit, and I got to listen to their story as well. I find it completely fascinating that this concept of an entity can be discussed in so many ways from different times and still consist of the same core details. In my personal opinion, I do believe there are entities. I will not call them demons personally, but I do believe that they exhibit the characteristics I discussed earlier. I believe that as I continue on in my life, it is my spiritual responsibility to remain covered, protective, and discerning, and more importantly, fearless. I know that these stories may be shared by some individuals with the intent and purposes to scare their audiences or even for propaganda effect. But for me personally, as I said earlier, I just find topics like this fascinating. If you would like to see me make more videos like this, or if you have any other video ideas, kindly put them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!